There you go. Oh, yeah.
Billy Nelson just showing off his newly found tricep. Yeah,
Tries and buys.
guns and buys. That's what the guns and tries. You throw me off there. Andrew McCart, iFLTV. Billy Nelson, how are you, sir?
Oh, good, Andy. Not too bad, mate.
Good,
Look
good.
forward to look forward to a wee fight this week and one next week, and then a couple of on the 7th of December in Africa.
7th of December in Africa.
Equatorial Guinea.
Wait a minute. Whoa. I was just in I seen you Monday, Billy. Why are you not telling me these things?
You never asked.
Well, that is very true. That is very true. Well, I was meaning to get a chat with you on Monday with my camera and that, but I didn't have it in my car, so I thought, I'll get you on a Zoom, and you were kind enough to phone me just then and remind me about this interview that I want to do with you. So thank you very much, Billy. And it was obviously about the news that sort of broke the weekend there, beginning of the week, with Martin Bakole and Agit Kabayel, and Agit Kabayel pulling out of the purse bids. Again, more frustration for you and Martin. Just talk to me about that situation.
Well, we were notified on Thursday that Agit Kabayel had pulled out the purse bids. No reason given, other than you probably doesn't fancy it. And now we're moving on to Zhilei Zhang, and well, ever since the IBF ordered the fight, there's not been a dicky bird from them. Not a dicky bird. So I think it can be safe to say that they're going to pull out, aren't they? And then it'll be on to the next one, whoever that is.
So Agit Kabayel,
Sorry?
so I'm saying Agit Kabayel's pulled out. You're getting a feeling that Zhilei Zhang's going to pull out. And this just goes to show, you've said for all along that Martin Bakole is the most avoided heavyweight in boxing. Are you being proven right here?
Well, that seems to be the case, doesn't it?
So who else? Who's out there for you then? Obviously, the Zhilei, again, for a boxing fan, when you look at that Zhilei Zhang fight and Martin Bakole, you look at the size of these men. They're close to 300 pounds, the pair of them. One's orthodox, one's southpaw. Both 6'6". It seems like a no-brainer to me as a boxing fan. Do you agree?
Well, we need to tell the promoters that, don't we? Or the fans need to tell the promoters that.
So
I believe it would have been a good fight, but I believe it would have been. I believe that Martin would have knocked out Zhilei Zhang.
And if the Agit Kabayel fight happened, same result?
I think it would have went a bit longer, but I think it would have caught up with him.
So who's out there for you, Billy? Who's obviously then the two names that have been mentioned for a long time. Who else is in the mix? Let's say.
Well, I'm being a bit presumptuous that Zhang's going to pull out, but if he did, I mean, really, there should be a system like the UFC. See, if you pull out a fight, you should go put back to the back of the queue and get told to work your way back in. If you really want the best to fight the best, there's got to be a sanction against the person that pulls out. What's the point in the governing bodies sanctioning these people so highly if they're just going to pull out a final eliminator? For goodness sake, what boxer doesn't want to fight for a final eliminator with a chance to fight for a world title in your next fight?
See, is it?
You understand where I'm coming from?
I do understand where you're coming from, Billy. I do, mate. So that's what I'm saying. It must be again frustrating for you because it seems like after the Jared Anderson win, it seemed like that was the breakout fight that Martin needed all this time, and then you almost felt like he was going to get the fights going forward again. But it seems like there's been hurdle after hurdle after hurdle, and it seems like it's hard to get that break for you and Martin. So again, probably frustration, probably pissed off is probably the
Well,
right.
why don't we just bypass the going down the list? The champion's looking for an opponent that's ranked in the IBF. Take Martin Bakole. He's the highest ranked opponent now. Because in theory, after the next IBF world title fight, Martin will be number one in that as well, because number 1 and 2 are vacant now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's 3 and 4. Will Kabayel get kicked out of the top 15 because he's pulled out? So Martin's number 4. He'll go to number 1 after that next fight.
Do you feel like
whether he wins, well, even more so if he wins the final eliminator.
Do you feel like maybe
Sorry?
Kabayel might get the Dubois fight?
No.
No.
I'm sure I've read somewhere that it's gone to Joe Parker, but I don't think Joe Parker's in the top 15 in the IBF. That's the problem.
Could this not be a voluntary for Daniel Dubois?
I don't know how. But you've still got to be ranked in the IBF. You know?
Yeah.
You've still got to be ranked in the top 15, I'm sure.
Is Parker not ranked in the IBF?
I don't think so.
Again, it's
only one he's not ranked in.
Right. And again...
Oh, sorry.
No, it's all right. I was going to say, do you feel like...
I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if Agit Kabayel fights Zhilei Zhang for something.
Mm-hmm. And then...
How embarrassing would that be?
Well, you mentioned the IBF world champion. Well, the IBF world champion is Daniel Dubois, and you've mentioned Martin Bakole being highly ranked with the IBF, and that was meant to be the final eliminator. Looks like the rematch with Joshua ain't going to happen in the first quarter of next year.
Daniel, because Eddie Hearns came out and said that Anthony won't fight till May or June. So Daniel's got a defence on the 22nd of February. He's no opponent. So just for talking sake, Zhang pulls out. He's number 5, and then you've got to go to number 6. Well, Daniel can only pick from number 6 to number 15 who he's going to have a voluntary defence against, because Agit Kabayel can't fight for it because he's pulled out a final eliminator. If Zhang pulls out as well, he can do it. So they'll only have from number 7 or 6, is it? Number 6 to number 15 to pick from. That's, of course, bypassing Martin Bakole, who's number 4.
And I'll read them to you. You've got Zhang at 5, Frank Sanchez at 6.
Sanchez. Efe Jagba.
Efe Jagba at 7. Joshua 8. Hrgovic at 9. Chisora at 10. Fabio Wardley, Otto Wallen, Jared Anderson, Vianello, and Hooney. Justice Hooney. So
if Zhang, listen, we're being presumptuous here, but if Zhang pulls out the purse bids, he can't fight for that title, right? Agit Kabayel already can't fight for it. I think it's for 12 months. Right? So they're not going to fight Martin. That's as clear as day, right? So he's number 4. So you've got number 3, 4, and 5. Then you've got who's number 6?
Frank Sanchez.
So Frank Sanchez just got plastered in his last fight by Agit Kabayel. That's an option. And then you've got Efe Jagba and the other people that you've mentioned there. One of them will be selected to fight Daniel, if it's not Joe Parker. But I don't see how it can be Joe Parker if Joe's not in the top 15. Unless miraculously he appears in the top 15 this month, which, whoa, that's a shock. There's Big Joe just landed in the top 15. He's not had a fight for a year.
It's boxing's a crazy old sport, Billy. But I'm guessing the sort of run of form that Daniel's on, and again, we know what you've said in these sparring stories, and sparring stories have been mentioned back and forth for the best part of 5 years and whatnot. But to be fair to Daniel, he's on a great run of form. He seems to be coming of age because he's still a young man. I mean, he was a young man. He's 27 now, so he seems to be coming of age. He seems to be filling in this heavyweight division quite nicely now. Because you know yourself, Billy, heavyweight's probably coming at their prime, what, late 20s, 30s. That's when they come into their prime. And it seems like Daniel Dubois is getting there. So
he's definitely improved. Oh, 100%. He's definitely improved.
So
but he's not improved enough to beat. But he's not improved enough to beat Martin Bakole, and that's fact.
And there's only one way to find out.
Because it was a massive gulf when they previously shared the ring. Yes, by all means, massively he's improved, but so is Martin Bakole. He'll always have the edge on Daniel, always, in my opinion. Until I'm proved wrong, I'll keep telling you that, and I won't be proved wrong.
Do you, in your heart of hearts, if Daniel has a voluntary defence here, right, and he looks up down them rankings, do you think he will pick Martin Bakole, or do you think that it's too much of a dangerous fight? Do you ever think that fight will get made?
And there's as much chance of Daniel picking Martin Bakole in a voluntary defence as you growing a perm before 8 o'clock at night.
Hey, never say never,
mate. Seriously. Well, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think he'll pick Martin Bakole in a voluntary defence? If you manage Daniel, would you do it?
If I manage Daniel, honest opinion, I wouldn't do it. No, because I think that Martin right now is dangerous for any heavyweight. He's dangerous. Well, and he's proven that. So
and there's no shame in just telling the truth. You know what I mean? And if I was Daniel's manager, I wouldn't pick him either.
But that's not. Listen, again, I'm his manager. If I was his manager, but I'm sure Daniel was a fighter. I'm sure he would say yes. Do you not think so?
You think so?
I think. So. Well, he said yes to Gerald Miller. He said yes to Hrgovic. He said yes to Josh. Well, the Joshua fight happened. So he got himself in a position, and they're all dangerous fighters.
And credit to him. But with the fullest respect, Gerald Miller and Hrgovic, I know Martin Bakole. And Jared Miller, Hrgovic did, but Hrgovic was meant to have given him a hard time in sparring. Martin gave him a hell of a time. And that stays with you, Andy. That stays with you. That doesn't leave you. But prove me wrong. That's all I'm going to say. Prove Martin wrong. Martin believes he's not just one of the best in the world. He believes he's the best. He believes he beats Usyk. He believes he beats Tyson. He says to me, he'll stop Usyk again. He's got Usyk's number.
It's definitely.
And who am I to say he wouldn't? Who is anybody to say that he wouldn't?
Well, again, we know the story that came out of Dubai. I think that's well documented now.
But it's not a story, mate. It's not a story. It's not a story. It's no fabrication.
No, I'm not saying it is. I'm saying
listen. Has anybody said it never happened?
No, I'm not saying it's a story. I never said a fabricated story. It's a story that came out of Dubai that Dubois dropped Usyk to the body. That's what happened. That's what I'm saying.
Martin, you mean?
What did I say?
Martin, you mean?
Yeah, what did I say?
Dubois. Daniel.
Martin stopped. Martin stopped Usyk to the body. Yeah, that's and again, like you said, nobody said it didn't happen. So there you go.
Has anybody ever came out of Daniel's stable and said what they're saying about Martin when he sparred Daniel is not true?
But can you understand that when people hear you understand that when Hrgovic he played off them sparring stories with Daniel when he was a young man, and look what happened to that. Again, I know what you're going to say. Martin Bakole is not Filip Hrgovic, but can we say that? No, I'm just being devil's advocate.
Aye, devil's advocate. Daniel's improved bundles since then, but you're still talking about the same Hrgovic who shit himself with Martin when he said, and there's a video of him saying, Martin Bakole has accepted the fight against me. I'm fighting Martin Bakole next. Did the fight ever materialise? He tried to steal Yoka to fight him in a final eliminator and bypass Martin. He literally ran away from Martin Bakole. He was meant to fight us, and that never happened. So it was agreed that both would have a fight each. One, he was to fight in Austria. He fought somebody in Austria, just a warm-up fight, and Martin had a fight in Dubai against an African guy, and then they were to meet. We hit radio silence. And it's happened too many times. All we want to do is fight. Everybody just earn a living and enjoy my boxing careers.
Yeah, I can understand the frustration, Billy, and I spend a lot of time with you and Martin, so I definitely understand where the pair of yous are coming from. But if let's be presumptuous, let's say it does happen. Let's say that Zhang does pull out of this because he is ranked number 5. The next guy's Frank Sanchez. Is that sort of maybe if Agit Kabayel pulls out and then Zhang pulls out from whatever reason, Martin versus Sanchez probably isn't the fight where it's going to get that.
But that's no Martin's fault.
No,
that's
again,
not Martin's
I'm not saying
fault.
that. No,
but he's got to fight him. He's got to fight him to earn the right to fight the champion, Daniel, as it stands at present. So that's what we'll do. And then we'll go and beat Sanchez. Whoever's below him, we'll go and beat. Whoever we're told by IBF, they've said yes, we'll go fight, beat, and then fight the champion. That's what's happening. Because the mandatory is getting called for after the 22nd of February. Everybody knows it.
When is Martin due to fight? When's Martin due to fight for this final eliminator?
Well, mate, there's push bids ongoing for Zhang, but if he pulls out, then we have to go to the next guy, and then you'll be given another week to negotiate with their promotional company or management team.
How long Zhang got left?
Thursday.
Thursday deadline. That's tomorrow.
We'll work to it, Andrew.
Well, it is Wednesday today.
See you're brighter than what I thought you were, pal. Your boys, see your boxers, man. They've got so much to look forward to in the future. They really have.
Exactly. As long as they know what day it is to come to training, Billy. Listen, you tell me, Andrew, Monday for sparring. I'll be like, right, I'll see you Tuesday.
We'd still help you, Andy. We'd still help you.
I know. Yeah, like I say, I've been at the gym, and your gym's still thriving though, Billy. You've got some great fighters in your gym right now, and some great fights coming up, and you've got some exciting. You've got Martin at the top, who's world title there or thereabouts, but you've also got young prospects coming through, and Luke Bibby and Sean Lazzarini. So exciting times for you.
Well, the first part of next year, within the first 3 months of next year, I've got at least 2 final eliminator for world titles and potentially a world title. And Sean Lazzarini coming through.
People are going to ask who's the second person. Are you allowed to? Can you disclose that or?
No, not yet. No.
Yeah, right. That's why I've kept my mouth shut a little bit here. I didn't know if we could. Do you know what I mean? Okay, because people are going to say who's the 2 world champions that you've got lined up.
No. I didn't say that. I said I've got 2 final eliminators for world titles, and potentially a world title fight.
Right. Okay.
And then I've got your Luke Bibby, and Luke Bibby's going to fight for 2 titles at the beginning of next year. One in February, one in March. And I've got Sean Lazzarini, who's looking fantastic now in the gym. He's fighting a week on Thursday, and then he'll fight again in January and February.
Good stuff, man. Busy. He's taking a leaf out of Luke Bibby's book by just keep fighting.
Well, when he's had such bad luck for that length of period, see when you've got a bit of time that you can fight, try and get the fights in, get the experience under your belt.
Definitely.
Because he's a ferocious puncher, very, very hard puncher. And Great guy as well.
I totally agree. Billy, you woke me up at 7:15 at night. And I know Coronation Street is starting for you. Sorry, I let that one out the bag, but I've got to let people know that you still watch Coronation Street, Billy. I'm grassing you in,
Yes,
right?
that's okay.
Hey, that's on you.
That's not. Fuck. Look at this face of concern.
I'll give you one final word, Billy. Two of these heavyweights in this division, maybe the champion Daniel Dubois, maybe Zhang, maybe Frank Sanchez, maybe Agit Kabayel, maybe Joshua, whoever, that Deontay Wilder, whoever. Give them a message about Martin Bakole.
Come and fight him. He's the best. He's the best heavy, one of the best, if not the best heavyweight in the world. But he'll prove it eventually. We'll get the opportunity, and then we'll prove it. And you know, I just wish. Obviously, I've no bad feeling towards any boxers, and I respect every boxer that goes in the ring. And I just wish everybody all the very best.
Definitely, and I agree with that, Billy. But as always a pleasure to speak to you, mate. And I hope that at the final hour that Zhang fight happens, because as a boxing fan, that fight just excites me, man. Zhang versus Bakole, it really does.
Well, everybody wants it. The Zhang's team wants it. We'll find out tomorrow.
Definitely, and if we find out tomorrow, and if I wake up tomorrow morning and I see it's made, or the purse bits have been agreed, or whatever, then you know what to do. I'll see you tomorrow.
Aye. And what if they don't? You know what to do.
I'll
Catch you later.
I'll still see you tomorrow again. Billy, enjoy Coronation Street, mate, and tell me if somebody's still on it. I don't know who's still. Is there still the same actors on it? I mean, I can't. I don't know if I know anyone on it. You're winding me up. You do not watch Coronation Street. You're winding me up. There's no way you watch Coronation Street. I'm not having it.
Look, and the telly's not even fucking on.
Right, Billy, you bastard. I'll see you soon.
See you later, mate.
Thank you, Billy. Thank you.